Welcome to this session. I'll be taking you through introduction to government and politics, and I wish to welcome everybody to this unit. Okay, my name is Shalom Mutisia, and I'll be taking you through this unit. And for this is our first topic, and I'd like for everybody to be interactive, and we'll get on well. Okay. So we are going to look at the overview of East Africa. As we all know, East Africa are countries which are in the eastern part of the continent Africa, and East Africa has three countries, namely Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. Those are the East African countries that we have. Apart from the Eastern African countries, which we have almost 18 countries, where we list South Sudan, Ethiopia, Sudan, Rwanda, Burundi, Djibouti, Eritrea, and the rest of them. So, as you know, that the four East African countries were earlier ruled by kingdoms, and they experienced trade among themselves, leading to the formation of the EAC, and they also faced they also faced colonialism, in which Uganda and Kenya were mainly the British colonies, and Tanzania, before the World War II, it was under Germany, and later after World War II, it was taken over by Britain. Yeah, and they later on came to gain independence from them under Julius Nyerere, Kenya under Jomo Kenyatta, and Uganda under Milton Obote. Yeah. So our unit being government and politics in East Africa. So we are going to look at the systems of the political systems in the countries, whereby Kenya has a bicameral parliament, whereby we have the members of the parliament being the representatives of the people, the Kenyan parliament, the National Assembly, and we also have the Senate, where we have the senators elected by the people to be in the House of the Senate. That is what it brings up the name, the bicameral, being a bicameral state whereby it has two houses of representatives, that is the National Assembly and the Senate. Also, Kenya is a multi-party state, whereby it was the multipartyism was reinstated in 1992 during President Moi's era, and which led to Kenya till date to be a multi-party state. Tanzania, okay, it's a presidential whereby the CCM, Chama cha Mapinduzi, is the dominant party, which was the founding political party in Tanzania, and which led Tanzania to independence under Julius Nyerere, the CCM. Uganda experiences political shifts, whereby now, as we speak in Uganda, they say they are democratic, yes, but okay, we've known only Yoweri Museveni during his tenure, as he's still the current president. Yeah, so he has full control over the country. So these East African countries experiences challenges, some which are democratic, others which are authoritarianism, corruption, and ethnic popularization and weak institutions. So in democracy, we see that the democracy in these three states is under threat, whereby the constitution at times is undermined and the rule of law is undermined, same as to justice, whereby we find impunity growing as the main threat of the democracy, people uh, being the people in the countries are being alienated from their rightful rights as humans, uh, despite the constitution outlining their rights, and the constitution being the enshrinement of their rule of their rights. So authoritarianism, we see it whereby the leaders are trying to be dictative, like for example in Uganda, whereby Yoweri Museveni has been in the seat for over 20 years, and he's not giving up. Corruption also is seen by the leaders. Some of them are corrupt, and they are receiving bribes and using corruptive ways to loot money and embezzle funds. And ethnic popularization is whereby you see that most leaders come from the same ethnic community, which is also a key challenge, whereby you find is the growth of tribalism, and which undermines the democracy and undermines the state of the country. We also see weak institutions in these countries, whereby the institutions there, like the civil society's law organizations, are weak, whereby the justice ain't being served right because of the weak institutions. Yeah. So these East African countries, they came to form a body which they used for regional integration, and it was formed and it was called the East African Community, whereby it was to form a common market for the three member states, and it was a custom union to form a common market and political federation with benefits such as economic growth, peace, development, and at times it is used for support for the member countries, and it also faces challenges like diverse systems, conflicts, limited resources, that is the funds, uh, that the members are having a personalized interest over the community's interest, and such things as that. Now, because each East African country has a government, and the government are people who are given authority to rule over others, so they also have their roles in development, focusing on economy, infrastructure, education, trade, and other things which are viable for the service to the people. Also, stability and governance are foundational in ways such as that the government should offer political stability, they should ensure there is peace in the country, and more of that. And I see that we have come to the end of our class, and I hope you enjoyed having me here with you. Okay, goodbye.